cold email versus cold Loom. Now this is a debate that a lot of people have. They don't know which one to choose. You know, there's a lot of conflicting opinions out there about it. Some people use cold email, others use cold Loom. Now I've personally chosen one over the other. It's what I personally use, it's what I personally teach to all of my students. And there's a reason behind that, okay? There's a reason why I've chosen it, and that's what I want to cover in this video. I want to take a more logical approach to why I've chosen one over the other. As opposed to just saying it because, you know, technically I am biased because, you know, I do use one over the other. That said, I want to take a more logical approach and show you why you should do one over the other. Now guys, as always, just before we jump into the video, make sure you smash that like button and subscribe to the channel as well. It massively helps out with the YouTube algorithm, and essentially it helps me help more people. So look, let's get straight into it, okay? Which one should you use? What's the best option? Now, just to let you guys know, probably majority of you guys do know, but if you don't know, I use cold email. Now, once again, a lot of people have a lot of conflicting ideas, reasoning behind it. But here's why I do cold email. Here's why I personally do cold email and why I teach cold email, and the results that I personally get and the results that my students get from the coaching calls that I do, where I show them my exact Ecomm outreach strategy, where you can literally find highly qualified leads at scale within the Ecomm niche. Like, it's just unheard of. But here's the logical reasoning behind why I do cold email over cold Loom. So, when it comes to outreach, okay, numbers, you know, it's a big part of it. You know, a lot of people say it's not a numbers game, you need to reach out to, you know, the right people and whatnot, and I 100% agree with that. You know, as you guys know, I have a rigorous qualification process that I take each and every single lead through. As I say, that's what I do, and I teach this as well. It's a rigorous qualification process that I take each and every one through, because I know, you know, I'd rather only reach out to 10 highly qualified potential leads, 10 highly qualified leads than 100 just random leads. That said, you know, the more people you reach out to, the more chance you have of getting a client, as long as they're qualified. So if you're doing, like, you know, 10 looms a day, 10 cold looms a day, that will literally take you the whole day, and that's probably the max that you could probably do, to be honest, taking into account everything else that you need to do as well. That said, sending out 10 emails a day, still the same qualified lead, it's just an email. Like that will probably take you like 5-10 minutes to physically send out the emails. Obviously, you got to go through the qualification process and whatnot, but like to physically send, I mean, you got to go through the qualification process for the Loom leads as well as the email. So that's no different. It's just a matter of actually, you know, executing on the, you know, the outreach. I mean, just doing 10 Loom videos a day will probably take you the whole day. Conversely, sending 10 emails a day will take you 5-10 minutes, if that, right? So when it comes down to effectiveness and efficiency, emails wins every single day. Now, don't get me wrong, I completely understand why Looms do work as well, because they are massively personalized. That said though, you might have 10 highly qualified leads, but maybe 3 of them just genuinely aren't interested, even though they tick off every single box. That sometimes, like, it just happens that they just might not be interested, and yet you've just spent like half an hour to an hour sending out those 3 Loom videos to people who just genuinely aren't interested. So that's another reason why I like to do emails, is because you can send out the emails. If one of the qualified leads you email just aren't interested, like, it's not a big deal, because it literally took you 30 seconds to send that email out. And another thing as well, like in terms of personalization, like the scripts that I personally use, and once again, I give all of my students, like those scripts are still highly personalized to the business owner, to that business as a whole. They're still highly personalized. So even though they're technically as scripts, like they're so personalized. Like you know, the receiver, the owner of the business will genuinely think you've written them out to them specifically, even though it's an email script that you can send out to like 100 that day. So that's another thing, like the personalization obviously is at a higher level with the Looms, but like you can still get that personalized aspect, you know, with the scripts that I personally use. You've still got that personalization within the emails anyway. So like, you still got that sense of personalized outreach with cold email anyway. And I think that's a big thing that a lot of people say, like that's why they like to do Looms, is because they're more personalized. But if you've just got if you just got good scripts there, like you can still get that same level of personalization with a cold email. Now let's move on to the effectiveness, okay? So I know a lot of people will say like, yeah, you only need to send out like 10 Looms and then you'll probably get a meeting from that. And then, you know, you probably have to send out like 100, 200 emails to get a meeting. But I completely disagree, and this is based on my personal experience. This is based on the, you know, what I see from my students. You know, it's funny, I can think of like two or three like case studies just come to the top of my head from the coaching calls that I have had with other students, right? So one of them sent 15 emails using the strategy that I taught him, sent 15 emails and got a meeting from 15 emails, right? So he sent 15 emails, it probably took him, I don't know, maybe 5, 10, 15 minutes maybe, around that range to send the emails out. Another guy sent 50 emails and got a meeting, right? And bear in mind, guys, these meetings are with highly qualified brands, e-commerce brands that can genuinely afford their service at $2,500, $3,000, $4,000 per month, and brands that can genuinely benefit from their service as well. So, you know, getting these meetings is a really big thing, because you've probably got like an 80 to 90% chance of closing them just because they're such highly qualified leads, right? So 15 emails, got a meeting, and then another student, 50 emails and then got a meeting, and then another student that I was, you know, doing these calls with went to 6 figures with their agency directly from this cold email outreach that I teach and whatnot. 6 figures, right? And that was within, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was within around 30 to 35 days. Just over a month, she went from literally 0 to 6 figures directly from this, you know, from this Ecomm outreach system. That said, you know, she wasn't spending like hours and hours and hours every single day recording videos and like sending over cold Looms, right? But I know a lot of people do think that cold emails don't work and that, you know, the Loom videos are the only way to go. But I mean, it's pretty obvious now, like taking this logical approach to it, cold emails absolutely work. I mean, I got my first 6 to 7 clients, e-commerce clients, from cold emails and kind of the strategy that I use and that I teach as well. So like, it massively works. I can see it firsthand that it works for me. I can see it firsthand that it works for all of my students. So, I mean, I just personally don't think sending cold Loom videos is an effective way to actually get your first few clients, simply because of the reasons that we just stated. With that being said, here's the times that I would actually use cold Looms, okay? So as I said near the start of the video, majority of the time you just genuinely don't know the level of interest an e-com brand has, right? To work with you and your agency and all that kind of stuff and actually start implementing your service. Majority of the time you genuinely don't know the level of interest they have. So sending a Loom on the initial contact, like sending a cold Loom, it doesn't make sense for me. And obviously we've gone through why it doesn't make sense, and we've also gone through like how effective emails still are on cold, or how effective emails are on cold outreach, right? That said, I personally actually use Looms when I know the level of interest that a business owner has, when I know that the business actually is interested in my service. And obviously there's a few ways you can get that level of intent, that level of interest, understanding of that. There's a few ways you can go about that. So like, obviously I always implement my email strategy, and then from there, what you can actually do is there's a few telltale signs that show you if they're interested or if they're not. For example, if they open your email like 5, 6, 7, 8 times, you know that they're interested. They wouldn't click on an email 5, 6, 7, 8 times if they weren't interested, if they weren't reading. So if somebody's done that, if somebody keeps replying back to me, we're chatting, they're just not booking in that meeting, you know, maybe once again, they've opened the email 5, 6, 7, 8 times, whatever it is, and they're just not booking in that meeting. From there, I will send a cold Loom, because I know that I'm spending 10, 15, 20 minutes recording a Loom, but I know who I'm sending it to is genuinely interested. So I'm not wasting my time, you know? It's gonna be far more effective when you start doing it like that. When you start sending it to people that you genuinely know is interested by first implementing my cold email strategy or a cold email strategy. So by first implementing that, then you can get some good data points from, you know, different kind of different stages within the outreach strategy process. You can get some good data points as to how interested they are, the level of intent that they have. Then from there, if you can see that they're genuinely interested, you can then go ahead, record, spend 10, 15, 20 minutes, whatever it is, go ahead, record that cold Loom video and send it over. And I can guarantee you that your conversion rate from, you know, recording Loom videos to meeting set, like that conversion rate percentage is gonna be much, much higher. So as I said, cold emails all the way, implementing a solid outreach strategy like myself and all my students, coaching course students do, is the best way to get e-commerce clients for your agency, e-com and info product clients. That is, I kind of categorize info products under the e-com world. So that's the best way, right? Cold emails, and then from there you can start to utilize the cold Looms once you know the level of interest that the potential lead actually has for you and your agency. So guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. Once again, if you did, make sure you smash that like button and subscribe to the channel as well. I am posting every other day super valuable content within the e-com agency niche, info product niche. So yeah guys, if you did enjoy, once again, smash that like button and I will see you in the next video.